Hello again. Welcome back, my friends. This is the final session of a three-part series that takes you into the world of radiant health. But before we get started, let me reintroduce myself. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Frank Lucas. I'm a natural health consultant with more than 20 years experience in natural health and healing. I'm president of NUPRO and co-author of Creating Radiant Health. All right, let's review where we're at. In the first session, we examined the evolution of medicine, from Hippocrates through germ theory and the theory of internal terrain, all the way to today's state of affairs that includes diagnosing symptoms, managing them with prescriptions and or surgery, and then managing the side effects with more prescriptions or more surgeries. We concluded that it's easier to stay healthy than it is to try to become healthy once you're not. In the second session, we examined how the body works. We discussed the four processes and the four functions that the body uses to keep itself in tip-top shape. We concluded that it's a shame to spoil this magnificent creation like your body. In this session, I like to call it an orientation to the world of radiant health. You'll be prepared to take your place in this new world, armed with the tools to help you protect and improve your health. First, let me introduce you to three people. When Matt reached orientation, he was out of sorts and out of energy. He was concerned because he had a high-powered job where he needed to stay on his toes, and nothing seemed to be helping him. Well, he'll be hard to catch right now because he's off on a 175-mile bike ride. But I'm pretty sure he'll tell you he likes it here. Erica's boss was so concerned that he told her he'd do anything he could to help her. And when Erica got home from work, she collapsed into bed, which had her husband and her preteen children concerned too. Like Matt, nothing seemed to help. Well, if you see someone with a big smile on her face, it's probably Erica. Her job and her family keep her hopping, but so she's pretty hard to corner. And there's Jeannie. She'd almost reached the end of her rope. When she checked into the world of radiant health, she had just received the news that she had 2 months to live. Well, since then, she met and married Greg, enjoyed the marriages of her son and her daughter, the birth and growth of her grandchildren, and helped write our book. After 15 years, it's safe to say, she sure fooled the experts. If you're interested, you can hear her story on creatingradianthealth.com. It is truly an inspiring story. There's lots of others, but I'm sure by now you get the picture. So, what do all these people have in common? Well, they have adaptable bodies that were having trouble coping, and resilient bodies that responded, as expected, to proper care and maintenance. Most people think that stress is only emotional, but it's far more than that. Stress is defined as pressure or tension exerted on an object. In the case of your body, it can be physical, emotional, infection, injury, or famine that throws your body out of balance. When any of that happens, the body tries to restore its balance as quickly as possible. It adapts. The stronger and longer the stressor persists, the more resources the body throws at it, until it's all hands on deck. Because after healthy, the next most important objective of the body is to survive. But the body can't keep up that pace forever. Then it begins to slowly tumble like a row of dominoes. As it does, all sorts of things happen, and health starts to decay. That's precisely what these people had in common. Because of their personal famine created by their diet, their bodies couldn't cope. And the body began its slow, frustrating tumble from healthy to not healthy to sick. Once the famine subsided, by improving their diet and taking supplements, the body began to bounce back until it reached a state of health. That's the testament to the body's resiliency. Well, the least understood concept in the United States and the world, for that matter, is the balanced diet. I prefer to call it a balancing diet because it keeps you in balance and healthy. It's too bad that a lot of people are confused about the balanced diet because all the recommendations coming from the experts are based on the assumption that you are consuming this balanced diet that promotes health and recovery. Well, when asked, most people will tell you they eat pretty good. The fact is they're eating a conglomeration of processed, preserved, packaged and convenient factory food that's laced with chemicals and, thanks to advertising, can masquerade as real food. There's a long list of health concerns that can be attributed to this blind spot. As amazing as it may seem, most adults, teens and children in this land of plenty are malnourished. Certainly they're not starving, but they are lacking the basic nutrition their body requires to function and flourish. That's the famine I'm talking about. The difference between what you are consuming and what your body needs to stay healthy and flourish leads to the predictable decline in health that is plaguing adult men, adult women, and now teens and children. I'm certain there's one big question that's likely crossing your mind right now. Who has the time for all that? Well, there's one inescapable fact. If you aren't feeding the body the nutrition it needs, your body is decomposing and your health is declining. Several years ago, there was an ad for Fram oil filters that featured a grimy mechanic working in the engine department of a car. He said, "You can pay me now or pay me more later." The implication was that you could either change the oil and buy a new oil filter or buy a new engine when it failed. It's your choice. Well, if the Fram people will forgive me, you can either invest in your health now or pay dearly when you are not healthy. It's your choice. Caring for the needs of your body may be the most important task you have, because all those other things that you have prioritized above treating you kindly won't matter once you've lost your health. The solution isn't as hard as you think. There are steps everyone can take to avoid this predictable and likely decline in health. First, start taking care of your body's nutritional needs. You know what to do. Eat more healthfully. So do the best you can. If you're confused about the balanced diet, I like the recommendations from the Harvard School of Public Health or the University of Michigan Interactive Medicine Department. For Club NUPRO members, there are links to both of them in the Resource Center, or you can look them up on the internet. Second, after you've done the best you can with balancing your diet, fill the gaps between what you should be eating and what you are consuming with quality supplements. These gaps will likely be consuming enough raw, mineral-rich vegetables and fruit, and too many bags, boxes, and cans of factory food. The supplements you should consider are trace minerals, plant enzymes, and phytonutrients from vegetables, fruits, berries, and grasses. There are links to these products below so you can take a look at them. These first two steps will address diet-related health issues going forward. But there are likely shortcomings left over from past years of neglect. So the third step is to undo the effects of past nutritional deficiencies. Choose a supplement, or better yet, a natural system that addresses those specific needs and support the body's ability to restore those functions. There are links to a list of categories that can help you decide, and it's below. Don't be surprised if the body establishes different priorities than the ones you have. They're likely different, so play along. Your body knows best. All it means is that your body is beginning to restore itself in its order of importance, thanks to your decision to treat it kindly. And by all means, be patient. The healing process is fairly predictable. It takes about 1 month of treating your body respectfully for each year you have spent neglecting it. The NUPRO 3-step plan for health and healing can help guide you through the process, and it makes suggestions that may be helpful along the way. There's a link to the plan below. And if you've progressed into full-blown declining health, the NUPRO Radiant Health Plan can help guide you through the process of improving your health. There's a link to that plan too. No one's going to get out of this life alive. While statistics are changing, most respectable sources proudly proclaim that life expectancy is longer now than at any other time in history. And it's true. You can expect to live longer than your grandparents. But at what cost? One of the fastest growing industries in the industrialized world is called managed healthcare, because they're dealing with the nagging complaints of being not healthy, using non-prescriptive medications. Next, they're managing the symptoms of declining health with specialists, more and more prescriptions, and possibly surgery. Then they're housing and caring for the infirm once the other treatments have failed. Why? I think it's because too many people believe that technology or some magic bullet will win the day. People think they don't need to be part of the effort of staying healthy. And here's the travesty. People often continue to practice the same dietary and lifestyle choices that delivered him or her to their predicament in the first place, even after they've been warned by their bodies, then professionals, that they're on the path to declining health. Well, I have a couple of parting thoughts. Write these down because they're important. Insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting something different to happen. And you can change the way things are by changing the things you do. And here's 2 more thoughts you can take to the bank. Good nutrition equals good health. Bad nutrition increases the instances of declining health. The Fram oil filter ad probably said it best. It's your choice. Just remember, you will be the one wrestling with the consequences. So do the best you can, then fill the gaps with quality supplements. I strongly urge you to purchase a copy of Creating Radiant Health. It's packed full of important information that you can use over and over again along your journey to Radiant Health. There's a link to buy the book in either hard copy or digital format below. I'd like to be the first to welcome you to the exciting world of Radiant Health. It's a place where you don't have to settle for anything less than the bounty of health. If you need or want professional help, visit nupro.net/help to schedule your appointment with your personal advisor. There's a fee, that's fully refundable if you're not satisfied. I hope you will decide to stay in this world of radiant health and not just visit. I'm Frank Lucas. See you around in the world of radiant health.